When I came out to the Royal Airs, I told Cy, I said, now you give me 3 years and I guarantee you'll be national champion.
And that was what year? 60?
My first year was 63.
63.
And 64, 64, it was funny. We must have taken 455 second places, and every first place was the Chicago Cavaliers. Well, it came to pass, we came to VFW Nationals in Cleveland, Ohio, in Municipal Stadium, a carnivorous place. I mean, it just like being in a canyon someplace.
I well remember.
And we did a great job.
Yeah.
Did a great job.
Walking around and the sense of, oh, this is going to be a really tight one. You know, we thought, we were hoping we might win it, but we knew that you were right in there. And
I felt it. I said, I'm going to do this a whole year ahead of time. I'm going to do it a whole year ahead of time. So they're announcing the scores. And then third place with a score of the Chicago Cavaliers. And I said, oh my God, we did it. And for just a brief moment I said, well, who the heck is in second? And for the 9,453rd time, and in second place with a score of the Chicago Royal Airs.
in those 50s, 60s, who would you relate to as being our most consistent competitor?
Royal Airs lasted the longest. Royal Airs went 8 years before they won that championship, chasing our tail for 8 years, and being very frustrated when we beat them all the time.
Yeah.
He says, you know, I'm just living, he said, to beat the Cavaliers. I said, oh, God, Si, don't say that, because sooner or later you're going to do it. and we don't really want to lose you, you know. Yeah, in fact, I was congratulating Cy Laurie on the field when they announced us third. We weren't counting position, we just counted, you know, Cavaliers were, and they came before Royal Airs, so we felt we were second and he won. Then he says Royal Airs second, and Cy and I just stood there. I've been shaking his hand. I said, who the hell won? Cy said, we didn't win. I said, no, who the hell did? All of a sudden, we're the Kilties. We both said, the Kilties? We said,
Kilties were always there, but you didn't get the impression in the 50s and early 60s that the Kilties really cared about winning so much as playing their show.
Yeah.
They were more entertainers, and it was more theatrical in Wisconsin. They liked what they did. If you liked it, they loved it. Madison always got a big hand. Kilties did, but they didn't have to win because they would say the crowd liked us better, so we won.
As luck would have it, the judge who bombed us, who caused us to lose, he and I grew up together. I was the best man at his wedding. We graduated together. I had never seen him since. He had never judged a contest in the Midwest. He had never judged a big contest in his life, and he was percussion judge on that. Well, you remember how the VFW used to choose.
Tony Schlecka used to kind of determine whatever he wanted.
His name was Richard Scudder. I had never seen him. I've not seen him since. I hadn't seen him prior to.
Yeah.
But as luck would have, isn't that ironic? Here, the one person who killed my dreams. But 65 wasn't a bad year. So started out marching with the Johnson City Red Raiders. That was my senior year in high school. He said, Truman, we need horn players real bad. Would you like to play a horn? I said, I don't know anything about a horn. He said, oh, give me a horn. And next thing I knew, I was marching down Times Square at the American Legion Nationals playing solo in Chattanooga Shoeshine Boy, and I'm now a baritone player. So Endicott is a very little shoe town. My way of getting out of town was to join the Air Force, so I came down to Washington, auditioned, and miraculously I was accepted, and that's how I ended up there anyway.
Wow.
That's how I ended up there.
So that's where you met McGee and the others?
That's where I met McGee and all those fellows, and that really, that's my first taste of, you know, big-time drum corps that I'd ever experienced.
So you marched in the Air Force Drum Corps for how many years?
10 years, 1 month, and 2 days.
No kidding.
I'd have probably stayed there, but unfortunately, the last year we were going, matter of fact, I'd come out to Midwest, do a lot of judging, and that's how I become familiar with the Royal Airs and really familiar with the Cavaliers and all the corps out there, because I came out and judged Legion State, VFW State, the State Fair out there in Illinois.
Oh.
I've become acquainted with Cy and Bill Evans and those, and they talked me into coming out and opening a little music store and teaching. Actually, they wanted me to come out and teach the Royal Airs, what it was.
Yeah.
Cy was, well, you hit it on the nose. Cy was a competitor.
Mm.
Everything he did was competition. He was a boxer. He's probably one of the most unforgettable characters I've ever known.
Yeah.
He would give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah.
All you had to do was ask.
Yeah.
I don't care if you were his competitor. All you had to do was ask, and it was his.
Mm.
Yeah, but his greatest wealth was those kids.
Mm.
His greatest wealth was his kids, and to them, they were an extension of him. And he was very demanding.
Yeah.
He was very tough. Very misunderstood. Very misunderstood, I think, by most of the people. He was cantankerous over there. And it was very easy to despise him.
Yeah.
It was very easy to be affronted by his characteristics because that's the way he was. But once you peeled off that exterior layer, he's the most softest, good-hearted person you ever want to meet in your whole life.
Mm.
I remember telling Cy, you know, he had lunch with me on every Monday. We'd have lunch together. Everybody thought we hated each other, but every Monday we had lunch together downtown. Yeah, Cy was a great guy. I mean, he was a bull in the drugstore, but he was a great guy.
Who were the other people connected with the organization? I know that when you came on, my recollection was Bill Evans.
Bill Evans, period, end of report, good night, sweetheart.
That was it? He was the guy.
Bill Evans was, Bill Evans had no natural abilities as it relates to music, to marching, but he was the catalyst. He was able to bring everybody together and keep them on course, and as well keep them happy as it relates to the kids. He was Mr. Royal Air.
Cy Laurie wanted to play Battle Hymn. You liked Battle Hymn?
Like Battle, well, Battle Hymn. If you ask me today what number we play, more often than anything else, it's Battle Hymn. It's just one of those things that people want to hear, they relate to, and it's our most often requested. Well, as luck would have it, that was one of the things that Cy, we'd always sit down and have these meetings. What are we going to play this year? And I'd always have twice as much music as we can put into the drill, so we'd have to figure out some solutions. Well, he always wanted to do Battle.
Yeah.
And I said, Cy, how can you do Battle Hymn in the Chicago Cavaliers? That's other than Over the Rainbow, Battle Hymn is their song, you know? He said, well, sure, I'd like to do it. I said, well, if you want to do it, we'll do it, but you got to do it my way. So I didn't come out with, I come out one night and I start teaching John Brown's Body. And pardon my French, what the hell is that? I said, I beg your pardon? What the hell is that? I never heard anything like that my whole life. I said, well, that's going to be Battle Hymn. Battle Hymn? That don't sound like no Battle Hymn to me. With this bouncing and swinging stuff, what are you doing? I said, don't worry, Cy, it'll work. But in any case, that's basically how John Brown's Body came about. And it was
Pretty successful.
pretty successful, if you will.
Yeah, well, you stylistically, your writings were your trademark.
65. Oh, that was the McCormick
Place.
Inside, wasn't it?
I said, oh, you got a good core this year. Huh? That was 65. We're still playing the game. They had to beat us to win.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody had to beat us to win.
65.
I was feeling okay about those two contests because we won drums in both those 66 championships.
Drummers, they're dragging us.
Wait a minute. We had the best drum show in that VFW National ever recorded.
Oh.
They didn't even pick up their clipboard from concert on.
Yeah, but you got to have drums.
Even up till today, you never want to talk to a drummer about what show we won or lost. Because you're not in the same league. I mean, they can tell you every one that the drums won.